Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Stone with Rising Point Solutions, and I have Gordon and Lori. They are joining me from Madison, Wisconsin. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Lori.
I'm Gordon, and we're with the Ferraro team at EXP Realty.
Here in Madison, Wisconsin.
So they're joining us today to share some information about what they're seeing in the housing market and what they're experiencing, because you guys are essential in the economy. Tell me a little bit more.
Well, things have been interesting as of late. The last few weeks have been kind of up and down. Our buyers and sellers have been unsure if they are still going to be able to have their closings in the next couple of weeks. If the moving companies are still going to come.
Ooh,
the good
that's a good point.
news, as of last week, our governor did state that those are essential. So we're happy to say that our buyers and sellers will be able to close over the next couple of weeks. The title companies have done unique stuff. We've been now doing closings virtually, and we've been able to still go and do a final walkthrough with our clients just to make sure their property is safe. And we've had to make a lot of changes as far as showings go too.
So are you seeing a lot of people not wanting to show their homes because they're concerned about the virus?
We've had a few people that have decided not to list, right? Completely. We haven't had anybody that has said, my house is on the market, let's take it off. Okay, so nobody's been that drastic. However, we were proactive, and we offered some kind of mitigating, some help to our clients, so that they could plan, so that they knew that we were planning for this, and we were looking out for their best interest. Exhibit A is the prep kit here. Check this out. So you've got the moist towelette, you've got gloves, and you've got booties, all of which are set outside the home so that people that are coming in to see the property never have to touch the property, technically speaking. Whether it's the lockbox, the agent doesn't have to touch it. They can put the gloves on, then unlock it, unlock the door with the gloved hand. And so the goal is to get people in and out of there and leave as little trace as possible.
And we do also check in with all of our clients to make sure they haven't exhibited any symptoms that would contaminate or expose somebody to something that would be dangerous.
Yeah, and additionally, we are limiting showings to some extent because some of our sellers are asking that people are pre-qualified before they view the home, right? Usually that would come as a step as part of the contract process. And now we're doing it before to limit showings so that we really get the tire kickers out of there.
And we've also been offering video tours. If a buyer doesn't feel comfortable going out, we can send them a video tour. We've gone and done a full showing of the property, and we can send them the link to YouTube so they can see it, and just to make sure that it would be a good fit for them as well before even coming.
That's awesome. That's definitely really taking it a step beyond to make sure that people are comfortable. Do you think that you're going to see a lot of drop off in listings because of this, because of the concern? And do you think that there's a way to help consumers besides just that so that they know that information? Are you sending out flyers to consumers so that they know that they should be comfortable with people going through the homes with the gloves and the booties and stuff? Does that make sense?
Yeah, we haven't done flyers, but we've been really taking advantage of video like we're doing here today.
Exactly.
I know, this is great.
People are on lockdown. They're craving that interaction. We've been doing some videos and letting people know what we are doing prepared. Also, there are people that need a house. If you're going through a divorce, if you're moving here for a job, we have a doctor that's moving here to work at the hospital here, which is very essential, and they need a home. And so we have been out working hard to get them something, and inventory is so low right now that having people that are moving or that are still able to sell, it is very, very important still at this point in time that people keep their houses going if they're feeling ready.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that we've ever been more efficient because the people that we're working with are taking action. There's not a lot of the people that are like, this one isn't perfect, or there's not a lot of that going on. It's if they're ready to do business, they're in the market right now. And honestly, that's kind of nice as an agent.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. And so are you seeing a lot of people from Illinois, especially Chicago, coming up to Wisconsin? I was curious. I meant to ask that earlier.
This summer or this winter and fall, we did have quite a bit to, sorry to say this, but to leave the taxes behind of Illinois. And
That's not sorry to say. I don't blame them.
and that is certainly a reality. We have not seen as much crossover from states just in the last couple of weeks, because I think a lot of states are on, a shut-in or stay safe at home or whatever you want to call it. But we did recently just have a client that moved here from Minnesota, that we're actively looking for a house for, and we have another doctor that's going to be coming from California. And so we just want to make sure that we can get everyone taken care of.
That's awesome. So, are there any questions for me on the credit side?
Well, so one thing that we've been encouraging our clients to take advantage of is the full pre-qualification process, so that they can get from contract to closing in as little as 14 to 17 days. Is there anything that from your end that we could do with our clients that would help more clients be able to achieve that, right? Usually if they're not able to get to, basically they do underwriting in advance. And sometimes there's a few things outstanding, right? That if they had it cleaned up, they could get that full underwriting. Is by communicating with you, do you think that might help them kind of overcome that and get there more quickly?
Absolutely. So I think that when it comes to making sure that they are pre-approved, obviously that's the smartest thing. And there are going to be some people that you're going to run into right now that aren't going to pre-approve. But now is probably the best time out of any time for the client to work on their credit, because when it comes to credit restoration and working with the bureaus, we found that the times that there are less people in the office for the bureaus, that we're going to receive better results. So the holiday time has always been our best time. Well, now we're in a different situation. It's not the holidays, yeah, but a lot of people aren't in the office working with this pandemic going on. And it's something that, even though it takes a little bit longer to receive results, we're typically getting better results in this kind of situation. So now more than ever, making sure that the client is on top of their credit, keeping their balances down if possible. I mean, again, we're all in this situation. If they're not able to keep their balance down, no matter what, they should make sure that they are at least making the minimum payments, because when they're not making the minimum payments, they're going to, have issues. They're going to see a drop in their credit score. So reaching out to their lenders and making sure that they stay on top of it, that's going to be their best option.
So just to confirm, what I heard there is that around the holiday season and times when people, when it's a little less busy at the bureaus, that's a better time to get their credit repaired. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Then especially it brings you right into the springtime. So when you start out in like November, December, you're going to see the best results, and then coming through, you're ending up right in the prime buying season, selling season. Yep.
Gotcha.
Definitely.
Gotcha. And from your position, and there might not be anything you could do about this, but what I'm anticipating, no client in particular, but what I'm anticipating is that a lot of agents are going to have clients that are looking great financially, and then over the next 3 to 4 weeks, life's going to change drastically.
Yes.
And is there anything you can do from where you're sitting to assist with that as a credit repair person? Do you have any recommendations? It might be outside your purview, but it's a real concern of mine for people.
Yeah. So if you have clients, and especially let's just say clients that you just got into homes, and now they're like, oh my God, I had a job, I had everything going for me, and now I'm worried about even making my first mortgage payment. Let's say that's coming around, that's coming due. Now more than ever, they want to make sure that they're being proactive, because on our side, we can only be reactive. We can give people the best advice possible to be proactive, but that's on them. So they have to take the step. They have to call the creditors. The Fed now, they're making sure that, so Fannie and Freddie, they're making sure that the service providers are providing different options for mortgage holders in order to have forbearance, to maybe, let's say, only pay interest on the accounts. So that's going to be something that they have to reach out, make sure that they stay on top of it before they become late. Because once they become late, that's when they're going to see real issues, and the service providers are not going to be as willing to help.
All right. So what I'm hearing then is that as an agent, the best thing for us to do might be to reach out to the clients that we've had that have bought a home recently and let them know that they need to stay on top of this if they experience job loss or just some sort of dramatic reduction in income, so that they don't turn around and call us to try to sell their home necessarily. There might be another.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you could even do like a quick email to all the clients that you enrolled. Yeah, they're playing with Nerf guns. Sending out a quick email to all the clients that you just sold houses to make sure that they know, hey, now's the time to reach out to those service providers and ask for forbearance, not loan modification. They probably wouldn't even qualify for loan modification if they haven't even paid a bill yet anyhow, but loan modification will typically result in late payments and reporting to the bureaus. Where forbearance, as long as they talk to the service provider and make sure that they don't report late, forbearance is going to be their best option right now. So calling up, being proactive, and making sure that they stay on top of it, write down who they spoke to, what time they spoke to them, what the resolution was, keeping track of all those notes, because I mean, everybody forgets and you're not going to remember every detail. So if you write it down while you're speaking, you'll have it for future reference in case there's any issues moving forward.
And just to kind of define forbearance, is that sort of a temporary loan modification? I hate to use that word, but is it sort of a temporary change in payment or expectation of the borrower?
So every policy, or yeah, every company is going to have a different policy. Forbearance itself is like with student loans, where you have forbearance where they're not expecting a payment for a certain period of time. Some companies may expect some kind of lump sum at the end of it. So let's say that you have forbearance for 6 months, they're going to usually expect some kind of lump sum at the end of the 6 months. Maybe not the full, or maybe partial, or maybe they're just expecting the interest only payment during that time. So that's something that they'll want to make sure that they understand, what is their payment, what is, when are they due for the full payment again. They want to make sure that they get all those little details in there.
And just to be proactive, would it make sense for them to reach out to you, or is it because it's a problem, it doesn't necessarily make sense?
I apologize. Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, I was just saying, so let's say that they're having like what could be a problem in the future. Should they just stay on top of it, or would there be value in giving you a call?
So at this point, it would, yeah, at this point, it would just be valuable for them to stay on top of it.
You look a little robot.
Okay. There we go. So it would be valuable for them to just stay on top of it as opposed to having us work on it, because we want to make sure that they have the best value. Recent late payments, those are going to be the most difficult. They just want to be proactive as opposed to having the issues and having to hire a company. That's going to be their best option and their cheapest option in the long run.
I think the biggest thing to wrap this up is during these times, communication is really the best. Staying in front of clients, helping, answering questions, just reaching out and letting people know you're thinking about them. And
I agree, definitely.
Seeing somebody's face, having a phone call, just whatever we can do to make sure we're letting people know we're thinking of them.
And generally speaking, the real estate market is continuing on. It's not stopping. So there's some people who are like, can I look at houses? I don't know. Yes, you can. It's still a legal thing to do.
Yeah. And that's a great question to answer, because a lot of people probably are thinking that. They're probably thinking, well, how can I go look at houses if I'm not even allowed out, right? So that's definitely good information for them to know. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
So yes, we'll wrap it up. Sorry about the kids running and playing with their Nerf guns. And thank you guys for your time and your patience.
Hey, during this safer at home, we have to make do with what we can do.
I know you were getting shot. You might not be safer.
I know, right?
You might not be.
I think I need to be deemed essential so that I can go work somewhere else.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And I hope you guys have a great day and stay healthy.
You too.